welcome back to the Story Shack with me, Kath, and you probably noticed Sloppy's having a day off today. That's because I've got with me some other bairns. I've got 3 sheep. This is Lambert, this is Sean, and this is Barney. He's the cheeky one. And today's story actually has 3 sheep in it, and it's a story from Georgia. It's called Kombele and the 3 Sheep. Once upon a time, there was a man whose name was Kombele. He lived in a village deep in the countryside called Matisa, and he had a dog and 3 dazzlingly white fluffy sheep. Why was he called Kombele, you might ask? That's because he used to collect Kombeles and he stacked them up to the ceiling. What's a Kombele, you might well ask? Well, it's like a large club, bigger than a baseball bat, like a big wooden stick, and it's the sort of thing that somebody who lived out in the wilds would use to protect themselves against wild animals and such like. It's just the sort of thing a man who lived in the mountains and forests of Georgia might need. The trouble was, 1 Kombele was not enough for Kombele. And even worse, if anyone ever made him angry, which actually was quite easy to do, he would grab one of his sticks and bash them over the head with it. So one day, his 3 dazzlingly white fluffy sheep wandered off to look for some juicy grass to graze. They loved going for walks all around the homestead, playing with the butterflies and listening to the birds chirping away. And sometimes they used to wander for such a long time that they almost forgot the way back. Kombele would be waiting for them back at the house, and they simply couldn't find it. So he would have to take the dog, Sugrik, and search all around until he found them. Well, on this particular day, they were wandering as usual, until eventually they found a really good field, and they got to work straight away, happily munching at the juicy grass. But before they'd realised what was happening, darkness had fallen. They'd been so hungry from their long walk that they hadn't even lifted their heads up once from the munching to see the sky becoming darker and darker. And when they did look up, they got such a shock that they all began to cry. Ah, whoa, ah. They started to imagine lots of scary bats swooping out of the dark. And they started to tremble. Then they imagined a ravenous bear prowling in the nearby trees, and they began to shake with fear. They knew there were foxes that came out at night in the wild. What if one came now? And they shook more than ever. The thought of bumping into a wolf was just too much for them, and they just screwed up their eyes against the scary dark and their imaginations. Meanwhile, the ravenous bear, because yes, actually there was one, was pacing about in the trees, moaning. Oh, I'm so very, very hungry. Oh, I can't stand it any longer. I can't. If only I had a dazzling white fluffy lamb, I would gobble it up all in one go. Oh, he groaned, licking his lips at the thought of that. Wait, what's this? Am I seeing things? The bear rubbed his eyes and shook his head because he thought he must be dreaming, for there, wandering into the glade, right in front of them, as if by magic, was not just 1, but 3 dazzlingly white fluffy lambs. Oh, come in, my lovelies, he said in his nicest growl. Whose sheep are you, all dazzling and white and fluffy? He was almost drooling out of the side of his mouth at this point. He was so hungry. We are Kombele's sheep. Oh. And who is this Kombele? Asked the bear. Oh, well, Kombele is the kind of man who collects Kombeles. He counts them and stacks them up to the ceiling. If anyone tries to eat us, he'll bash them over the head. Meh. Oh, I'd rather stay hungry than fight with Kombele, muttered the bear, and wished them Godspeed on their way. Be happy, bear, be happy, called the sheep as they went on their way. Now, somewhere nearby, a fox was strolling along. Oh yes, there was actually a fox too, saying, "Oh, I'm so hungry. I'm so very, very hungry. I'll just faint and sprawl out flat like a carpet if I don't eat soon. If only I had a dazzlingly white fluffy lamb, I'd gobble it up in one go." Oh, he groaned, licking his lips at the thought of that. Wait, what's this? Is it a dream, or could it possibly be that sheep have come to call on me? Come in, my lovely sheep, he called in his least threatening voice. Whose sheep are you, all dazzling and white and fluffy? Foxy was trying very hard not to drool at this point. We are Kombele's sheep. Who's this Kombele? Oh, well, Kombele is the kind of man who collects Kombeles. He counts them and stacks them up to the ceiling, and if anyone tries to eat us, he'll bash them over the head. Oh, well, I'd rather stay hungry than fight with Kombele then, muttered the fox, and wished them Godspeed on their way. Be happy, Foxy, be happy, called the sheep as they went on their way. Now, in the darkest part of the forest, lurking dangerously amongst the shadows of the tall trees, there was, yes, you've guessed it, the wolf. Oh, I'm so hungry, I'm so hungry, so hungry. Grrr. My stomach just aches from hunger. If I don't eat something soon, I will fade away to nothing. Oh, he roared. If only I had a dazzlingly white, fluffy lamb, I'd gobble it up in one go. Ah, he growled, licking his lips at the thought of it. Wait, what's happening? I'm so desperately starving hungry, I'm seeing things now. Pull yourself together, Wolfie. Oh, he shook his head and banged his tail against a tree several times. Wait, I'm not. There are definitely 3 real sheep coming this way. Unless I've got triple vision. Whose sheep are you, all dazzling and white and fluffy? He sneered. He didn't even try to hide his pointy teeth. We are Kombele's sheep, they replied. And who is this man, Kombele, huh? Oh, well, Kombele is the kind of man who collects Kombeles. He counts them and stacks them up to the ceiling, and if anyone tries to eat us, he'll bash them over the head. Bah, bah, meh. Huh. Kombele Mumbele. I'm not afraid of him or his Kombeles. I'm going to gorge the 3 of you with the greatest of pleasure. Now, who wants to be first? Help! Oh, help me! Help! Barmare! Barmare! Cried the sheep. Kombele! Kombele, help us! But the wolf was so hungry and so nasty and so horrible that he ate them all up. Early the next morning, at sunrise, Kombele was woken up by the sound of the cock crowing, but he soon realised that, apart from the birds singing their dawn chorus extra loud, for some reason that he didn't know yet, there were no other sounds. The sheep! Where are my lovely sheep? He ran all around looking to see where they were, but he found nothing. Come on, Sugrik, he shouted to the dog. We have to find our 3 dazzlingly white, fluffy sheep. They passed along the way that the sheep had wandered the day before. There were certain clues, which I won't go into just now. In the glade of the forest, the bear was grumbling to himself. Oh, there's no honey anywhere, no juicy meat for me to eat. Am I to go hungry for yet another day? Oh! And just at that moment, Kombele approached with his dog. Hello, bear. Who are you? He groaned. I'm Kombele. Have you seen my sheep? What do they look like? Asked the bear innocently. Well, they're dazzling and white and fluffy. Oh, no, I swear on my life, answered the bear, who didn't have the energy to fight a man with a big stick. I'm going to check your teeth, said Kombele. If there's lamb meat in them, I'll know you're lying. Show me. The bear bared his teeth. and there was of course no meat in them. "Aha! You must be a good bear." Kombele thanked him and went on his way. "Bye-bye, Mr. Kombele, bye-bye." Just nearby, the fox was trying to calm himself down. He was so hungry by now, he was almost hysterical. "I'm hungry, but I don't care. I'll be nice and thin, like a pear. I'll pretend I'm on a diet. Yes, the foxy plan, you have to try it." At that moment, Kombele walked towards him, swinging his stick. "Hello, fox." "Oh, who might you be?" "Man with a stick? Yes, sirree. I'm Kombele. Have you seen my sheep? They're dazzling and white and fluffy before you ask." No, I swear on me life," stuttered the fox. "I'm going to check your teeth," warned Kombele. "And if there's any lamb meat in them at all, I'll know that you're lying. Show me." The fox bared his teeth, but of course there was no meat in them. "Aha! You've turned out to be a good foxy." Kombele thanked him and went on his way. "Goodbye, Mr. Kombele, goodbye. Parting is such sweet sorrow." He didn't really say that, we just made that bit up. Meanwhile, in the forest, deep, deep in the forest, Mr. Wolf was sitting on a tree trunk having a think. "Oh, I'm so lucky. One minute there I was dreaming of a lamb, and then all of a sudden 3 came along at once, just standing there. Lucky, lucky, lucky me," he growled, patting his tummy. And just then Kombele arrived. "Hello there, Wolf." "What do you want?" he snarled. "My name is Kombele and I'm looking for my 3 lovely, dazzlingly white, fluffy sheep. Have you seen them? You can't miss them, really." No. Oh, no. I swear on my life, I have not seen them at all, and if I do, I'll let you know." He grinned. "I'm going to check your teeth," warned Kombele, "and if there's any lamb meat in them at all, I'll know that you're lying. Show me." As soon as the wolf bared his horrible big teeth, Kombele could see straight away bits of lamb and bits of fluff stuck in between them. "You liar!" screamed Kombele as he reached for his 2 best Kombeles, 1 for each hand, and he began to bash the wolf so hard. He bashed and he bashed and he bashed this way and that and this way and that, and he bashed him all over the place. "Take that and that and that, you shameless, evil wolf!" And then he hung the beaten wolf upside down on a tree branch, tied it by its tail. The powerless wolf just hung there, face down, and after about 20 minutes, well, 23 to be precise, out popped the sheep. 1 by 1. And they fell with a bounce onto the floor. Kombele was so pleased to see them, and the 3 sheep were so relieved that they all ran towards each other for a group hug and a snuggle. So Kombele, Zugrig, the dog, and the 3 sheep set off on their long walk all the way home. They left Wolfie hanging there, and he's still there to this day as far as I know. They were delighted when they finally arrived home. All the butterflies fluttered around to welcome them back, soaring and sweeping and dancing in the breeze to celebrate. Yay! Oh, we've got so much to tell you. Oh, bah, bah, meh, bah, meh. So maybe the wolf wasn't so lucky after all. But there's one thing we do know. Never mess with Kombele or his 3 dazzlingly white, fluffy sheep. Bye for now.